Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a role that's right at the heart of pretty much every modern business, the Chief Financial Officer. We're going to explore what really, truly makes a high-impact CFO, and let me tell you, the answer might just surprise you.
So let's just kick things off with that big question. When you picture a truly great CFO, what pops into your head? Is it just someone who lives and breathes spreadsheets? Or is there, something more to the story? Okay, let's get right into this. For decades, right, the stereotype of the CFO was the bean counter, the super risk-averse person guarding the money. But the reality of the role today? It's a completely different universe. We are talking about a strategic partner, a genuine value creator, and yeah, even an innovator who's helping to steer the entire company.
So how in the world did we get from that old-school stereotype to this new reality? Well, it all starts when you look way beyond the traditional balance sheet. And this right here, this is the heart of what we're digging into today. What really separates a good CFO from a truly great one isn't just their technical financial wizardry. It's the breadth and the depth of their perspective, and that's something that's forged on a totally unique journey. And that idea of a journey brings us to the word diversity. But hold on, we need to totally expand our definition of that word. We're moving beyond just demographics to something much, much deeper. We're talking about different ways of thinking. Think of this like you're adding layers. Of course, demographic diversity is the foundation. It's super important. But the real magic, the real power, happens when you start layering on diverse experiences, maybe some unconventional career paths, and ultimately, different cognitive styles. The unique ways people actually process information and solve problems. Yeah, think of it like this. Every single unique experience a potential CFO has had adds a brand new tool to their toolkit. It just makes them that much more equipped to handle the incredibly complex challenges of modern business. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because this idea completely flips our old assumptions on their head. Research shows that this pedigree bias, this obsession with fancy Ivy League degrees or specific certifications, it just doesn't hold up. There's no consistent, provable link between where someone went to school and how well they actually do the job. This really just drives the point home, doesn't it? While going to a big-name school might get your foot in the door, it's the skills you actually acquire, your analytical chops, your ability to adapt, that truly predict your performance. The focus is shifting from where you've been to what you can actually do. So what kind of tools are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about functional diversity. Having real experience in operations or marketing or tech. It means having deep knowledge of the industry, not just finance. It means valuing those nonlinear career paths instead of just a straight climb up the ladder. And, maybe most importantly, it includes operational acumen.
This idea of the operational CFO is gaining so much steam right now. This is a leader who doesn't just sit in an ivory tower building financial models. Nope, they actually understand the nuts and bolts of the business, and they're the ones who bridge that critical gap between the high-level strategy and what's really happening on the ground.
And the payoff here is incredibly tangible. A CFO who gets operations can drive real efficiency because they know how to optimize where the money goes. And they keep the financial strategy firmly grounded in reality. They don't just see numbers on a page, they see the entire value chain and can pinpoint the exact spot where things are going wrong. And it's not just about operations either. Those non-traditional paths, like spending time in investment banking or management consulting, they forge their own set of really powerful and unique skills. Everything from deal-making and fundraising to high-level strategic problem-solving and communication. So, what does this all add up to? All this variety in education, career path, and experience, what's the ultimate payoff? Well, it all funnels into one single massive advantage: the power of thinking differently. And that's what we call cognitive diversity. And listen, this has nothing to do with what people look like. It's all about how they think. It is that beautiful, messy variety in how different people can look at the exact same problem, analyze it, and come up with a solution, all based on their own unique journey.
And the results are, honestly, staggering. Study after study shows that teams with high cognitive diversity solve problems faster, they're way more innovative, and they just flat out make better business decisions. They spot risks that others completely miss, and they find opportunities that a uniform thinking group would never even see.
But, and this is a huge but, there is one crucial catch. You can have the most diverse team on the planet, but it means absolutely nothing without psychological safety. People have to feel safe enough to voice a dissenting opinion, to challenge the status quo, to throw out a crazy idea without being afraid they'll get shut down. That right there is the key that unlocks all this power.
All right, so let's get to one final, really crucial point of tension, because it's not quite as simple as just hiring the person with the most varied background. There's a delicate balance you have to strike between that fresh perspective and deep-seated knowledge.
And this is the classic dilemma that, let's be honest, every board faces. Do you bring in an outsider who's got that fresh perspective but faces a really steep learning curve? Or do you promote an insider who knows the company inside and out, but, might be stuck in that "this is how we've always done it" groupthink trap? So the ideal, of course, isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about figuring out how to get the best of both worlds. The real goal is to combine that breadth of outside experience with the depth of internal context. Whether that's through smart internal development or by hiring outsiders who are just exceptionally quick learners. And that just leaves us with a final thought to take with you. As you look at your own team, your own company, maybe it's time to ask yourself, could it be that our biggest, most powerful, and most underutilized asset is simply the fact that we all think differently? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.